Hello everyone, Thempire in here with more new cards. We've got new Solfachords, straight out of Dude. It's more Dude stuff. We've got new Solfachords, which are of course the pendulum archetype that relies on high levels with low scales and low levels with high scales. And the idea is it makes like a scale. Let's get into them. They had I guess like this is, I don't know why they're making new ones of these other than the fact that they are cards that exist that they could make new ones for. But I'm not going to complain about it too much because it's, just, finally new pendulum stuff that's not just like either a pendulum archetype that doesn't want to pendulum summon or a like pendulum, like one of the like pendulum decks, quote unquote, that turn into the pendulum slop that everyone plays, which is going away slowly over time as we start to like kind of get a few different flavors of that are becoming more distinct decks. I've got no problems with that necessarily. I just don't like the way it plays. Like if you like it, that's fine. It's just not for me. So we have Solfachord Solfegia. It's a level 2 Light Fairy Pendulum, 400 attack, 400 defense. Although, of course, the Solfachords can also oftentimes be a part of pendulum piles as well. This might end up being part of that as well. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't yet. We'll find out. Pendulum scale 9. Pendulum effect, you can only use the first one effect discarded once per turn. When a monster effect activated by your opponent on the field resolves, you can control. If you control a Grand Solfachord, which is only the Link monsters, I believe, you can negate the effect. Or Link monster? Is there one or two? Let's find out. Because it has been a while since I read Solfachord. When they first came out, I was like, ooh, Solfachord. I would be into that. And then I wasn't. I wasn't into them. Yes, there's two. Kulia and Muzekia. Muzekia. That. Her. So this gives you a negate. A monster negate if you have a Grand Solfachord card on the field. In the pendulum, if you have this in the pendulum scales. Which is a 9 too, that's not bad. I believe they go up to, I could be wrong on this. I'm pretty sure they go up to 8. No, I think the scales go up to 8. It doesn't look like the monsters do. So, yeah, that gets you everything. Because it's supposed to be do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. You can only use the first and second effect to discard a name once per turn. If you control no monsters or all monsters you control are Solfachord monsters. Here's something that makes you want to play only Solfachords instead of a whole pile of pendulum cards. Special summon this card from your hand. When you activate this effect, you contribute this card. During a main phase, you can special summon one Solfachord monster from your hand. Okay, wait. If you control, so that effect on its own, it special summons itself from the hand. Cool. The other effect says when you activate this effect, you can also tribute this card. During your main phase, you special summon a Solfachord monster from your hand, except for Solfachord Solfegia. And if you tributed this card at activation, you can special summon that monster from your graveyard or face-up extra deck instead. What strange card text. This is the most complicated way to describe this effect I can think of. I feel like. I don't know how I would word it, but like it feels wrong the way this is worded. Like, that's so strange. Okay, anyways, this card's crazy. This card's insane. It's got a negate on it if you control one of the Link monsters, which you probably want to make. Because they're not bad if I remember correctly. They're like pretty dang good. The two Link 2, add a pendulum monster from your hand to your extra deck, to the extra deck face up, and a face up pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. As long as one of them has an even pendulum scale and the other has an odd pendulum scale. When you pendulum scale a Solfachord monster, you can target one of them, add a Solfachord pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, whose level equals the pendulum scale of that monster. So yeah, you want to make this fucker. And then the other one Gains 100 attack for each pendulum monster in your extra deck. Activate effects of pendulum monsters this card's point 2 cannot be negated. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can special summon a Solfachord with an odd pendulum scale from your pendulum zone. This zone, this card points to if you negate the activation. You can add a Solfachord pendulum monster with an even pendulum scale, assumed from deck to hand. Maybe it's from graveyard though. Yeah, both of those are good. Both of those are really good. This gives you an extra negate on top of that. What kind was that? A card. Okay, so that's an Omni, and then this one is a monster negate, and then it also can summon itself for free, and then it also can tribute itself, which summon it for free, so that's fine. For one, it could just summon from hand, and it can also tribute itself to summon from graveyard or face of extra deck instead, which means it can just get a Grand Solfachord onto the field on its own. Granted, the link arrows for the Solfachords kind of make you want to summon them to the extra monster zone, but who knows. We have a level 1 here, Solfachord Primoria. Level 1 Earth Fairy Pendulum, 0 attack, 400 defense, pendulum scale 0. Okay. When you pendulum summon a monster, you can target a Solfachord in your pendulum zone, return it to your hand. You can only activate the first and third effects of this card name once per turn. If this card a normal special summon, you can add a Solfachord card from your deck to your hand, except for Primoria. So I think the idea here is you want to scale this and the 9. That gets you access to everything. Use pendulum summon out, bounce this card back to hand. Activated Solfachord card effects cannot be negated while you have Solfachord cards with even and odd pendulum scales in your pendulum zone. So this card can actually like shore up your board before you make the link summon. If you link summon a Solfachord monster, you can add a Solfachord card from your graveyard or face of extra deck to your hand. That's also pretty good. This card seems pretty good. Yeah, both of these seem pretty nice, and they just are really good scales too. Solfachord Happiness is a normal spell card. Activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect this card's name once per turn. Discard a card if you do add 2 Solfachord Pendulum monsters with different pendulum scales from your deck to your hand. Special summon a Solfachord Pendulum monster from your hand up to the number of monsters your opponent controls plus 1. Huh. This card does everything. I haven't even read the second effect. What is going on here? Okay, so you have to discard a card, sure. But then it's like, add 2 Solfachords with different pendulum scales. So it just adds 2. And then special summons 1 from the hand. Or it summons more if your opponent controls a monster. This card seems insane. Assuming you have the guys to summon, but you're guaranteed to have 2. During your main phase's turn, you conduct 1 pendulum summon of a Solfachord monster in addition to your pendulum summon. Okay, so you can only... There's nothing stopping you from activating this card 3 times in one turn, but you can only use each effect once per turn. So you get an extra pendulum summon of Solfachord, of a Solfachord monsters. Okay, so it's either or. But it has to be Solfachords to your pendulum summon. And then or special summon Solfachord cards for your pendulum zone, which would get this guy on field and trigger her. Happiness is an insane card. Why did they print this? This card does literally everything. And you know what it doesn't do? You know what I'm noticing it doesn't do at all? Lock you? It doesn't lock you at all? What the fuck? This adds a card. This adds a Solfachord card. So hold up here. Ignore Solfachord as a deck for right now, because Solfachord as a deck doesn't exist currently. Like you could theoretically play Solfachord, but it doesn't exist as a deck that like we have a good strong theory of, right? This card, Primoria, normal summon Primoria. Add Happiness. Happiness, discard a card, add 2 Solfachords, and then special summon. That's 2 monsters on field. at least, and an extra card you've added from the deck. Summon Primoria as part of any combo. Grab Happiness. Get an extra Pendulum Summon of Solfachord monsters. Or, Solfachords in the Pendulum Zones, special summon them. Like, the only thing is, like, I feel like to do anything super crazy with Happiness, you need 2 copies of Happiness. Like, you need to like, in the Solfachord deck, you only need 1. I think in Solfachord as its deck of its own, you only need 1 Happiness to do, like, in hand, I mean, to do something crazy with it. But otherwise, I feel like you need the ability to get your pendulum scales onto the, like, you need the effect of Happiness to get your pendulum scales. So, like, okay, here's like a combo you could have. Solfachord Happiness. Happiness grab Primoria and Solfegia. Scale up Solfegia and something else. That's the problem. It's like you'd want to put Primoria here. Well, hold up. You could go Solfegia and Primoria, put them on the field, Pendulum Summon, use the effect of Primoria to get it back to hand, normal summon her, use her effect to grab another Happiness, scale up another Solfachord card if you hadn't have one, I guess. You have to have one. Just have one. And then you can use the Happiness that you searched off of Primoria to summon 2 Solfachord from the Pendulum Zones. And then you can use the effect of Solfegia to get a different Solfachord onto the field. I don't know about that. Like, I'm trying to make Solfachord into like its own little engine, like what the hell am I? The other musical archetype, which I cannot think of for the life of me for right now for some reason, which has ostinato and such to just go into crazy stuff. But this is not Solfachord. I don't think can exactly do this. Okay, so Cutia can grab a monster. Harmonia adds a Solfachord pendulum to the extra deck from the extra deck to your hand. Increase the pendulum scale of one Solfachord by its level this turn. Control a Solfachord pendulum monster card with at least 3 different even scales. Oh my god, some of these cards are terrible. What does the counter trap do? If you have a Solfachord card in your pendulum zone while the opponent activates a spell, trap card, or monster effect, shuffle a pendulum zone monster from your extra deck into the deck. And then pendulum monsters you control are unaffected by that effect. Cards in your pendulum zones cannot be destroyed by that effect. Cards in your pendulum zones cannot be banished by that effect, and then you can only activate it once per turn. Honestly, Formal is kind of fun. This one special summon the apply any of the following in sequence based on the number of pendulums. Okay. If you control 3+, return a card from your pendulum zone to the hand, and then place a face-up pendulum monster from your extra deck into the pendulum zone. If it has 5+, special summon a pendulum monster from your hand. 7+. I guess that includes the scales. Destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls. Okay. Add a Solfachord pendulum monster from your deck to your extra deck. Tribute and special summon a pendulum monster from your deck whose pendulum scale is 2 or higher or lower than that monster. So she could almost get, but she's a fucking 6 too. Italia. If there's a normal special, you can target a spell check your opponent controls, return it to the hand. Uh, wow, these are terrible. Okay. Cannot activate monster effects until the end of the damage step. This one adds a spell trap. It's a 5. Why? Why? Activate one of these effects. Place a Solfachord pendulum monster from your deck in your pendulum zone. Add a Solfachord pendulum monster from your hand to your extra deck face up. Then place 2 Solfachord pendulum monsters, one odd, one even, from your deck in your pendulum zones. Oh. Okay. That's interesting. Add 2 cards, one odd, one even. Pendulum scales from your pendulum zones to your extra deck face up. If you do, draw 2 cards. Okay, Elegance is not bad. Elegance seems quite good, actually. It's basically that second effect, I think. The one where it just scales up for you. We already looked at the Link monsters. They're pretty good. But they're not really helpful with what I'm trying to look at. And then this just Solfachord Symphony, which apply these effects in sequence based on number of face-up Solfachord pendulum monsters with different names in your extra deck. Okay, in the extra deck, that's good. 3+ Solfachord pendulum monsters you control gain attack equal to their own pendulum scale times 300 this turn. 5+ you can destroy 1 card your opponent controls. If you have odd pendulum scale in your pendulum zone, draw a card. 7+ you can special summon a grand Solfachord monster in your extra deck. You can only activate 1 Solfachord Symphony per turn. So these new cards are really strong. But the old cards are not. But the new cards require you to be on a critical mass of Solfachord cards to actually do anything, it feels like. Again, I was trying to think of a way to make them like that other archetype that I just can't think of the name of. Someone will have it in the comments, I'm sure. But I think these cards are just really bad. Like, these cards are really bad. Cutie is fine. Cutie is just a searcher for monsters. You know, you grab Cutia, you go Cutia, grab Solfegia. Solfegia summons itself with its effect. And then you've got a Link to. And you can go into Musicia. And you can add a pendulum monster to your extra deck face up, and then 1 face up pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand, if you have one there. And when you pendulum summon, you can add a pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, whose level equals the pendulum scale of that monster you targeted. Which means you have to have a critical mass of Solfachord monsters in your hand to do a pendulum scale and to set up scales, because you didn't set up scales in this combo yet. And like you can make Solfegia go into like Primoria and then search a card. You could search the one that can set scales. Not Symphony, the other one. Scale. It's literally called. Wait, no, that's not it. It's not Scale. What was the other one? Elegance. I thought it was literally called Scales. Oh, that's one effect. Add a Solfachord pendulum monster from your hand to your extra deck face up. Then place 2 Solfachord pendulum monsters, one on one even, for your deck in your pendulum zones. That's a long ass effect. So you have to have a Solfachord monster in hand to do that. Okay, I think I've decided. These cards are good. We cannot call these cards bad. They are good. But the other Solfachord cards are so stupendously bad that these do not fix them in the slightest. The only way these cards work are with the application of other archetypes. And if you add in more archetypes, you make it so you can't draw the Solfachord cards that you need to make these cards work. What the fuck? What the fuck? Another archetype where there's only like, much like Megalith, now that I think about it, another archetype that's from early 2020 that just, the early 2020s I should say, that just has like 14 cards, which consists of one initial wave and then like 3 individual cards afterwards. And it does fuck all. Except this is much worse than Megalith. I know that there's a Solfachord deck in Rivalry of Warlords format. I'd like to see what that one actually does. Because right now, I don't understand what they want me to do with this. I could just be missing the sauce on this. There's a lot of card text in here. A lot of effects flying together all at once. So maybe I'm just missing something. But these guys seem awful. These guys seem terrible. And this like 3 cards is not going to be enough to fix this. You need like 7. This is so weird because like the Link monsters are really strong. The Link monsters are pretty damn good. In fact, I think, haven't the Link monsters been played in some other things? Maybe not. I feel like Coolia has applications outside of Solfachord. You just have to have a Solfachord monster in here. It has to be specifically from the Pendulum Zone. Tier zone this card points to. Wow. What a very specific Omni Negate. And their fucking spell trap searcher's a 5. I mean, they have a new guy that searches anything, but like, she's the only one that searches spell traps. And the spell traps are what make the deck work. Because the deck is a pendulum deck that requires you to have like a handful of pendulum guys. So you can't play any hand traps at all. Your deck is going to be all Solfachords. And that doesn't sound good. Like, you're playing so many bad cards just to play a bad deck. I don't know. I don't know. Like, yeah, you could pendulum summon the 5 and the 6. Sure. Good luck with the scales. Good luck with the scales. Like, you're gonna need to go into Solfachord Happiness to get through the 2 pendulum monsters you need to get scales to summon it. And how are you gonna get that? You got 3 copies of it, 3 copies of Primoria. 6 copies isn't awful, but it could be a lot better. I'm astonished. I'm like, I thought these were gonna be like something. Like, there's no way. This I have to be missing something. There's got to be something I'm missing, because this is a Rivalry of Warlords deck. They expect you to be able to play this at the same capacity as all the other Rivalry of Warlords decks. Which, to be fair, I don't know the exact contents of those decks, but like, I feel like I'm going crazy here. I feel like I saw people saying that these were good. And again, the cards are good. These cards are crazy. These 3 cards here are crazy. But the fact that they are shackled to the archetype of Solfachord means that they don't do anything. Am I crazy? I'm like, what am I missing? I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, to make Grand Solfachord Musicia work, you have to have 4 Solfachords. You have to have 2 Solfachords you can get on the field to make a link monster, and 2 Solfachords you can set as pendulum scales. None of these guys summon an extra guy. Not a single one of them do. So you have to draw them. Or you could add them off of Cudia. There's 2 that can summon themselves in that situation. Fancia, I believe. No, not Fancia. It's Dreamia. Dreamia can summon herself if you control a Solfachord in your pendulum zone. Okay. Well, not Primoria, the other one. Solfegia can summon itself if you control a monster, or a Solfachord monster, or no monster. And then you can go into Muzekia. Let's go with Muzekia. And Muzekia, it can add you a pendulum monster, but only after you add one from your hand to the extra deck face up. So you have to add one from your hand to the extra deck face up, and then it gets you one from the extra deck to the hand. So it just cycles them from the extra deck. And it searches one from the deck to the hand, but only after you pendulum summon, which means you have to wait a minute. No, you don't need 4 to do this. You need 5. You need 5. Because you need 1 to summon. Okay, wait. No, you need 4 because you can summon them from the extra deck, of course. Pendulum scales and the link arrows are great for this. That's fine. Never mind. That's right. That's right. Pendulums have a little bit of fixing for this. So what you need is 2 Solfachords to summon Muzekia with. Maybe you could be 3 if you have Cudia or Primoria, which can both grab you Solfegia. And then Solfegia can summon herself out, and then you can make Muzekia. And then you have to have 2 of these fuckers to scale up. Like, what are we doing here? That's any way you slice it, the minimum you can get away with is 3. 3 of them. 3 of them things. So your entire deck is going to be fucking Solfachord cards or pendulum support that can get you into Solfachord cards. That's astonishing. And these new cards don't do anything to fix that. I mean, they do by giving you a card that gets you the 2 pendulum monsters. That's cool. And it can special summon an extra guy. So yeah, this guy could also get you into... Wait. Solfachord Happiness makes it... Hold up. Solfachord Happiness makes it a 2-card combo. There we go. We got to a 2-card combo, everyone. Let's go. 2-card combo. So we go... we go Primoria. Normal summon Primoria. Grab Happiness. We use Happiness. Discard a card. I guess it's a 2.5 card combo, actually. You add 2 Solfachord monsters, then you get to summon one of them, and then you can link off from Yugioh, and then if you have one other guy, the other one you added could be the other pendulum scale. So you need to have Primoria and one other pendulum scale, and then you can make Yugioh and then activate Yugioh's effect. Oh my god. What the fuck, dude? Oh no, man. Oh, fucking hell, dude. Fucking hell. What do you even say to that? What do I even say to that? Oh, good job, Konami. Thank you for this nothing. Thank you for the 2.5 card combo in my pendulum deck. It already loses to anti-spell. And Flamberge put a monster in the fucking pendulum scale. Twin Twister. Oh, but if you have one of them, they can't touch them. What is the one that makes it so they can't touch your fucking pendulum zones? Oh, the counter trap. Right. It doesn't matter then. It's a trap. You can't activate it. It's that turn. This one has broken me. What the fuck is this? What the fuck do you want me to do with this? Is this just like trap people who like played a lot of Rivalry of Warlords format? Konami, I thought you hated all the side formats that don't make people spend money. I can't get over this, dude. Oh boy. But then if you have a second Solfachord happiness, that goes crazy. Because you get to summon the pendulum scales onto the field. Wait. I just realized. Wait, hold up. What is the scale on what is the scale on the high level? Wait. Does the lowest they go 3? The lowest scale they go to is 3? So if you use up your Primoria, you gotta get another Primoria, I guess, for your scales, because otherwise you can't summon back the Primoria that you use as material, and you're wasting a pendulum summon. Oh my god. I'm gonna cry. This is awesome. What the fuck were they thinking? What the fuck is this, dude? There must be something I'm missing. There has to be. Okay. I can't get it together. This is so funny. Can you believe the fucking Link monsters were added later, dude? They wanted you to fucking summon Elatea and bounce a spell trap. Oh, fuck me. Oh, this is awesome, dude. And then what do you get for all that? You can make Kulia. None of this locks you. None of this locks you in the Solfachord. You could make better Link monsters. But like, if I'm just gonna be making a Link monster board, I could play better decks for that. I can play fucking anything for that. So man. These again, to be clear, good cards. For a terrible archetype that just isn't enough to make it competitively viable. But I bet they'll go hard in Rivalry of Warlords. All right, I have to get out of here before I get the giggles again. Let me know what you think of these down below. Maybe there is something I missed, and you've got the goo, the sauce to bring them together. Let me know down below. And I'll fucking see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone. Hey there. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got a lot more for you if you want them. Just hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications. I'd also appreciate if you left me a like and a comment and maybe shared the video around with your friends. You can also follow me on all the usual social media sites. Just check out my website in the description below for more info. My videos are funded by my patrons, Ko-fi subscribers, and YouTube members, whose names you'll see scrolling by in the credits here. For just $1 a month, you too could find yourself here, trapped in my end screen for all eternity. In particular, I'd like to thank Jeremy Coatney, Frog Prince Michael, Fleekill, Haru Hayes, the Almighty Ferret Lord, and Fire Mizumi. A big thanks to all my other patrons and to my little community as a whole. Remember to be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful whatever time it is for you. Bye-bye.